I am Roya Mahboob, and I'm supporting MMM campaign for girls' education in Afghanistan because I believe education is an engine for regional development, peace, and prosperity. Girls have the same right to education as the boys.
Roya Mahboob, salam alaikum, and thank you so much for giving us your time. Roya, you have done so much. A young woman that has set up teams of other young women in Afghanistan, the robotics team of Afghanistan, the story of the girls that built ventilators during COVID out of spare car parts. What drives you? What is your driving force?
I think that it's back to my past, and I think that the courage, I think that's made me to be different. And I remember that when I was only 15 or 16 years old, the courage led me to go to this internet cafe in Herat, where I saw for the first time the computer and this magic box that connected people to the big outside world. So I feel that this box could be answer to my problem. And I decided to make technology somehow to be the center of my career. And I have seen the power of social media technology in my personal life and my professional life. And I thought that we needed to give the same opportunities that I had in when I was younger to millions of other girls that they are curious, but they don't know what is possible for them. And I thought that this would be a door that opened opportunities for them.
What role do you think education played in your success story?
It's built the foundation for women like me to gain confidence and believe on their own abilities. I was able to start my own company. I was able to working. I was started to teaching the kids. That's why, and the beautiful of the education is that it gives you a door of opportunities and success.
What do you want to see happen in the future, in the next 2, 3, 4 years in Afghanistan to maintain the momentum that you yourself have experienced and the success that you have experienced?
Well, I think that we had a great achievement in women's empowerment, in a democracy, increasing democracy, and increasing the access to education for millions of students. And this is something that we don't want to lose it. And I think that Afghanistan children have a vision for their country is totally different than how the world see them now, where the others see a war, our children see peace. I believe that the next generation of Afghan entrepreneurs and scientists see the unlimited potential that education and connectivity can offer them. For us, we're working in much bigger projects to change Afghanistan's technology and making sure that the Afghan governments put the investment on the STEM education and make sure within the next 10 to 20 years, Afghanistan becoming as a source of technology rather than a country of terror and war.
But how worried are you that things might change, that the opportunities that have been there for you in the last 18 years or so?
We are all worried. I think that especially those who lived during the Taliban regime, they are worried about. They saw that what's happening to them, and we don't want back to the darkness. And especially when I look at these younger teenagers that they are grow up in a world that they just heard about the stories of the past, and they can't even imagine about that. When I see them, they are all the time with all this technology devices. They are using the Instagram, they're using the Facebook. I mean, look at these kids that they have so much hope for the future. We needed to make sure that tomorrow is different for our children, and we have to make sure that our children deserve a better life. And we are living in 21st centuries.
You said every woman should have a voice in the global conversation. Do you believe that Afghan women's voices are part of that global conversation today?
I think that every voice is a matter, and every woman is matter, no matter where they live. Girls deserve to the right to imagine and pursue the life they want, and and they should have a voice in a global conversation. It doesn't matter if they are living in US or in Paris or in Afghanistan or in Iraq or in Syria. Women deserve to have a voice, and they are citizens of this country and citizen of this world. And it sounds so simple but obvious, but it's far from reality, unfortunately, in too many places.
You, a young woman, CEO of and co-founder of Digital Citizen Fund, set up a robotics team and the Ventilator Girls. Talk to me about those teams. What are the age groups? What are the hopes of these girls?
We started Digital Citizen Fund with one goal and dream. The goal was to see technology as an accessible option for everyone, and dream was that everyone, even those who are living in conservative countries, would have the same opportunities and education available for them. And we started the Afghan Girls Robotic Team, or we call it the Afghan Dreamers, in 2017, when a non-profit organization called FIRST contacted us, and they asked me to put together a robotic team to take part of in the first global challenge, an international competition for teenagers in Washington, D.C. This is how the Afghan Dreamers Afghanistan first all-girls robotic team began. We took an exam from 150, 20 selected. At the end of the day, we ended with 6 girls. And we used the power of the social media to telling our stories, and this was reached out to millions of the people in the world, and reached out to 53 US congressmen that they signed a petition on the behalf of us, and we reached thankful. And then we got the attention of the White House. At the last minute, President Trump also gave the visa to the girls. The girls come to the United States, and they compete, and they actually captivated the public eyes with your inspiring message of hope and determination. They receive a medal of the courageous achievement. We saw that there is a light in the darkness, and we wanted to continue this, and that's why we went to many other stages. We compete and we win, we lost. They proved that after years of darkness and subjugation, Afghan girls across the country finally take the charge and be the master of their own destiny. We have right now, during the COVID, the girls decided to be as a responsible citizen. So they decided to working on ventilator when the former governor of Herat put a challenge and invited the Afghan Girls Robotic Team to join. We put a great team and finding the engineers and doctors who can support the team to be able to build this open source ventilators. We saw that there is a design from MIT, which there are dozens of other teams across the world working with them, but we couldn't find the parts. We didn't have access at that time. There was a lot of restriction in the country, and the shop were closed and you couldn't travel. So we had a lot of other challenges as well, but finally we find a way that we could using the parts inside of Afghanistan, using car parts to build up this ventilator.
You talked about challenges. Can I ask whether you have ever had either within your own families or in society, men who have been against the fact that you all are out there being innovative and being doing all of this and being very visible?
Being as a tech CEO, anywhere in the world will introduce you some challenges, but in Afghanistan, where the many of the men believe the women should stay at home, the attack against of me was devastating, both personally and professionally. I had to work in a society at my time. There was very few women who work in tech, and that was very difficult because it was very male dominated. And once you get in a contract, they don't want to pay you. They always see you as they don't take you serious, and if they wanted to pay you, they wanted to give you pay you less. But beside of that, you will getting a lot of threats by local conservative or local Taliban's, because you have some of your contracts with NATO or US military. And then I learned that when you wanted to bring the changes in conservative communities. If you will be one person, it will be difficult. If when you be two or three, it still is difficult because people are not ready for the change. What is important is that if you build a community that they can support, if you have hundreds and thousands of people do the similar things and make it normalized. Today, if you talk about building a company, a startup, it's easy and people get it. And I think that this is a victory after centuries ignoring women's ability in science and many other industries.
How important are these international support mechanisms, and what more would you ask international policymakers?
We have to making sure that we do investment on the STEM education. I think that system-wide investment in STEM at the secondary higher education will shape the trajectory for the job creation, economic progress, and ultimately more inclusive and peaceful societies. And if we needed to making sure that part of the education's money goes for the quality education and preparing our younger generation for future jobs. We still needed the support of the international community, especially for the girls' education, and I hope that they will continue their support.